Here on a status hearing. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Well, she's not with us yet, but she's there. There she is. Okay. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the children. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother, Ms. Motz, who is with us. The father, Mr. Caldwell, is not with us, nor is his attorney, Vince Nowak. I've got James Saint in the waiting room, and I don't show him on anything, at least anything I could see this morning. I'm going to bring him in to see if possibly he could be covering for Mr. Nowak. All right. Mr. Saint, if you'd unmute.
Yes, sir.
Are you covering for somebody?
No, sir. I got the notice of the Standler hearing, even though it's final order. I didn't know if I was supposed to be here until the appeals are exhausted or not.
Oh, no, I don't. Let me see. Let me check my.
I was just appointed for unknown father, so I don't think he's gonna.
It's I'm not sure why. I don't keep up with why, but that one's been marked off. It's not going to be heard today. So.
Oh, okay. And so I don't need to attend after the final order if I'm representing a parent, because I know the order says I'm technically appealed until or appointed until the appeal times have lapsed.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the case since I don't have it in front of me. Typically, the lawyer who handled it, if there's an appeal, usually the lawyer that handled it for the parent files a notice of appeal, and if they don't want to do the appeal, they immediately notify us, and we appoint someone who wants to do the appeal.
Right. Do I need to be at the permanency hearings after final? Is what I'm wondering.
Well, if your client was terminated?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't think so. No.
Okay.
I mean, unless something happens on the appeal, and at that time we'd look at it and, either reappoint you or appoint someone else. So.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to not be here if I was expected. Thank you, Judge.
Well, I appreciate you showing up.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I still don't have Mr. Nowak nor Mr. Caldwell, so we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll watch the waiting room for both of them. Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Angela Tidwell as its witness. Thank you, Your Honor. We also request that the court take judicial notice of the court report filed on November 26th of 2024.
All right, so noted, and I did read that report.
Thank you, sir. Angela, who do you work for?
I work for St. Francis.
And what do you do for them?
I'm a permanency specialist.
And are you assigned to help the family of Chelsea Montez and Corey Caldwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any updates on Tuff since the filing of the court report?
He's doing wonderful. He's healthy and he's doing great in placement.
And are they in a relative placement?
Yes, ma'am.
And how is Lainey doing?
Let me interrupt for just a second. Mr. Nowak's just come into the waiting room. Let's get him in. Sorry. Morning, Mr. Nowak.
Apologies, Judge. I had it down for 9:20 for some reason. And then I heard my name in the background. I had YouTube just so I can kind of paste the docket, and I heard my name. I apologize to everyone.
That's all right. We just now got started. Your client is in the waiting room, but I'll keep watching in case he shows up.
He's not. I spoke to him yesterday, Judge, but he won't be here.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Angela, I think I was asking for an update on Lainey.
Yes, as of December 3rd, she's speeding at 65%. She's still in ICU, which means she's taken 65% of her bottle. They did an MRI on her, and the MRI came back normal. And there's a meeting scheduled for December 12th for possible for her to be released from NICU. But she's doing well. She's doing well.
And for clarification, if she's released from NICU, does that mean she's released from the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Since the filing of the court report, are there any updates on Ms. Montez?
Yes. Chelsea has completed 3 of her domestic violence classes out of the 14 requested. She's also completed her parenting classes. She has done 6 or 5 sessions with her therapist, and she's given me negative drug screens.
And can you please provide an update on Mr. Caldwell since the filing of the court report?
Yes, I have gone to see Mr. Caldwell, and he has agreed to the family plan of service and signed. I reached out to Randall County to see if there were any services he could complete while at Randall County. And unfortunately, at this time, they don't have any services that he can do while at Randall County.
In regards to visitation, how is mom's visitation with Tough going?
Visits are going well. Starting this week, we've increased visits from 2 hours to 6 hours.
And who is supervising the 6-hour visits?
Starting this week, it is going to be Jennifer placement.
And in regards to the father, he is currently in Randall County Jail, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So am I correct in assuming that there's no visitation? He's not able to do visitation at this time?
No, ma'am.
Have you created service plans for the family?
Yes, ma'am.
And do the service plans for the parents aim to mitigate the reasons for removal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they reasonably tailored to the issues for the removal as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And very briefly, what were the main issues for the removal?
The main issues were domestic violence, failure to protect against domestic violence, and drug exposure to the children. To tough, excuse me.
Can you please identify 2 to 3 services specific to Ms. Mottes?
Yes, ma'am. She's required to attend domestic violence classes. She's required to complete parenting classes and also therapy sessions.
And can you please identify 2 to 3 services unique to Mr. Caldwell?
Yes, ma'am. He's required to do BIP classes, which is batter intervention classes, also anger management, and then drug screening.
Has Ms. Mottes reviewed and signed?
Yes, ma'am.
And did Mr. Caldwell review the family plans of service as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he sign his family plan of service?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we asking the court for any drug screens to be ordered today?
Not today. No, ma'am.
And is the preparation of the family plans of service part of the department's reasonable efforts to return the children to the family?
Yes, ma'am.
As well as you connecting the mother with the services she's already started on, is that a reasonable effort as well?
Yes, ma'am.
In regards to visitation, mom's visiting both children, and is that a reasonable effort as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Are there any other requests we need to make of the court?
No, ma'am.
Would it be contrary to the children's welfare if there were returned to the parents today?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there a continuing danger to the children, to their health, physical health and safety if returned to the parents today?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
Thank you. Ms. Tidwell, do you know what Mr. Caldwell's in jail for?
Not exactly, sir.
Okay. I guess then if you wouldn't know of any potential release date, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, then Ms. Mullinax, questions?
Yes, thank you. Ms. Tidwell, you just testified that it's contrary to the children's welfare to be returned to Ms. Modest. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you told Ms. Modest that the children should be home with her?
I've stated that services need to be started and worked on, and that we're working towards reunifying the children with her. Yes, ma'am.
So you haven't told her that you don't understand why the children are not with her?
No, ma'am.
And you said that earlier at the beginning of your testimony, you said that Tough is doing wonderfully. Where do you get your information when you get updates from Tough or on Tough?
See him in person, face to face, and I speak to Jennifer, who is his maternal grandmother.
Are you aware that he's not sleeping all night anymore?
She did state that he had issues sleeping at night, but she had also stated that he had allergy problems, which is noted. I noted.
Are you aware that he's not eating like he was?
That was not made aware to me. They told me that he likes to eat everything, actually. So, no, ma'am, I was unaware of that.
And with regard to Lainey, you said that there was a meeting scheduled for the 12th to determine if she's going to be released. So what would her visitation with mom be upon her release, since Tough is getting 6 hours starting this week?
Yes, ma'am. It would be the same. 6
And you
hours
said-
a week.
And you said that's going to be supervised by Jennifer, the grandmother, starting this week, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to this week, were there several visits that were canceled by the workers or supervisors?
From my understanding, they were rescheduled and it had to do with both parties back and forth. Yes.
And you said that you specifically listed 3 services for Ms. Modest that were, I guess, the most important, and that was therapy. And you said she's done 506 as of today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you gotten in touch with the therapist to get an update, or do you do that after 6 sessions?
I will request therapy notes. And no, I have not yet.
All right. And so is she supposed to do at this moment in time, is she set to do 6 sessions?
It's 6 or released from her therapist is what it states in the family plan.
And since you haven't gotten the records, you're not sure. Would that be fair to say?
No, I haven't got the records because she's not completed 6 yet. Then I'll get the records and we'll discuss it further.
And you said that she's fully completed her parenting classes.
Yes.
Okay. And that she's done 3 of 14 DV classes, domestic violence classes. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
How often are those?
Weekly.
And so as long as once a week, I guess.
Yes, ma'am.
And so as long as she attends weekly, she should be done in just a couple months. Well, a few months.
Yes, ma'am.
And has she been doing everything that the department has requested of her, or St. Francis has requested of her?
Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Mr. Nowak?
No questions, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ingram?
Sorry, I couldn't get unmuted. I have no questions, but on the dad's charges, I just looked them up. He has 2 charges showing on the jail roster, one for assault, family violence, and one for assault of a pregnant person.
Okay.
And Judge, that assault on a pregnant person is a motion to proceed, I believe.
Okay. All right. All right, then, Ms. Gutierrez, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, the department rests. We do ask the court take findings, or rather make the findings that the department has made reasonable efforts to reunify the family.
All right, I will make those findings. All right, then, Ms. Mullinex, did you have any witnesses?
Judge, is there a Jennifer Stagner in the waiting room?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to call her.
Okay.
And Jennifer, how are you related to the children in this case?
Grandmother.
And are you current placement as well for, well, at least Tough at this moment?
Yes.
And is it your understanding that Lainey will be also coming to your home when she's released from the hospital?
Yes.
And with regard to Tough, has he been in your place, in your residence since the removal?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell the court how he's doing in general? I don't want you to tell me anything anybody's told you, but how he's doing.
He's a good child, but he's still he's not sleeping at night like he was. His eating is a little off. Chelsea had him on a good schedule and he was eating good regularly. Everything was fine. And now that he's over here, it's all messed up for him. He's not on a schedule.
Okay, hold on. So you talked about the sleeping. How was he sleeping when he first came to your residence?
When he first came, he wasn't.
Has it got?
I'm sorry.
Has it gotten better since he came?
No.
Okay, so tell me, like, what do you mean he wasn't sleeping?
He just whines during the night. I mean, he will go to sleep when he's tired, but then it's never a restful sleep.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to speculation.
The same.
Whenever you have Tough during the day, has he acted the same or different from whenever he came to your house?
The same. Yes.
How does he act during the day?
He plays. He likes to watch movies and play. But that's the way he does.
And so you said a minute ago about how he'll go to sleep. Do you observe him while he's sleeping?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you observe physically with him while he's sleeping?
He's very restless. He's a mover. And sometimes he'll just start whining. But while sleeping, he doesn't. To me, it's like he's never getting that real good sleep.
And with regard to his eating, you said that Chelsea had him on a schedule, but that he's not really anymore. Is he eating sufficiently or not?
Yes.
All right. Is there anything special that you have to give him for him to eat?
No, and I want to say when he eats, it's not like he'll eat a whole thing of baby food or he's now starting to eat regular food. But it's not ever enough, so he always wants more bottles.
And so he's still on a bottle at this time?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to object at this time. It is a status hearing. I don't believe placement being changed is up for review on a status hearing.
And Judge, I'm not.
I do object to relevance.
Overruled. I haven't heard anybody ask for a change of placement, but she's entitled to go into how the children are doing. So go ahead, Ms. Mullinex.
With regard to specifically Tough, my understanding is the visits are going to be supervised by you starting this week, but that's not what's been happening. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And so where do the visits take place whenever mom has visits with Tough at this point up until today?
At my house, except for one visit, and it was to accommodate St. Francis. And we had it at the house, at what they call the house.
The visitation house?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so even though the visits are at your house, is it my understanding that someone else is supervising up until today?
That is correct.
Okay. And so whenever, after those visits, do you see any kind of changes in Tough?
Yeah.
And what changes do you see in Tough after he has the visits with his mother?
He doesn't cry a lot. He does this growl, and he starts growling more, and he keeps looking at the door like, I mean, I don't know what he's thinking, but I would assume it's like, where'd she go?
Does he act out or anything? I mean, I know he's only about a year old, but does he do anything to act out?
Not really. He's just not very happy. I mean, he doesn't usually, it'll take him an hour or so to get back into it.
And have you been informed that the visits are going to 6 hours supervised by you starting this week?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any belief if that will help with Tough? And if you don't know, that's fine. You just tell us you don't know.
I don't know at this point.
Does Tep have any special needs at this point that you have to accommodate for him?
No.
Do you have any concerns about Tuff as of today?
My main concern is him losing contact with his mother.
I'll pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Stagner, do you work?
No, sir.
Okay,
Retired.
I'm sorry, this is Judge Graham. You said that Ms. Modest had Tuff on an eating schedule and now he's not on any kind of schedule. Why didn't you just keep the same eating schedule that Mom had him on?
I have 3 of her children here. And it's just doesn't play out because I still have to take care of the other 2, get them to school. And it was just, and because he's not sleeping like he was sleeping, it's hard to keep him on that schedule because I wanted him to get as much sleep as he can.
Okay. So you have a total of 4 kids in your house now?
No, I have 3 with 1 more expected as soon as she gets out of the hospital.
And are the other 2, we're not talking about Tuff or Laney, but are the other 2 Miss Modest's children also?
Yes, sir.
All right. How did you come to have them? Why do you have those kids?
Originally it was due to a CPS case, but then we just kept the arrangements because Cutter goes to school a few blocks from me. So it was so that the kids stayed with me during the week and then they would go home to Mom on the weekends.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Ms. Gutierrez, any questions for Ms. Stagner?
None, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Nowak?
No, sir.
Mr. Ingram?
No questions.
All right. Ms. Mullinex, any other witnesses?
I'd call Chelsea Modest.
Okay. We're going to have to do that quickly. We've got 4 minutes left for this hearing. So, Ms. Matas, if you would, let me find you here. There she is. Okay. Ms. Matas, if you'd raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Mullinex?
Thank you. All right, Chelsea, I'm going to just ask you a question, answer exactly what I asked you so we can get done quickly, okay?
Okay.
Tell me, you're visiting Lainey at the hospital while she's in the hospital, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What are your concerns with Lainey at this point?
Her tremors and her blood. Her blood isn't working like ours does.
And is that being monitored by the hospital as far as you're aware?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have concerns about when she's released from the hospital, what will happen?
Yes.
Why?
Because at this point, I see her, I go to 11 visit and then the 5 visit, and I stay for up to 2 to 3 hours until usually her next feeding. It just depends.
And you understand, or maybe you didn't, but did you hear today that you're going to be getting 6 hours supervised by your mother?
Yes.
And so would that be about what you're getting at this time, even though it's separated into 2 visits per day?
I get more with Lainey than I do with Tuff.
Right now you do?
Yeah.
But you're going to be getting the 6 hours with Tuff. So is that going to be the same amount that you get with Lainey about at this time?
No.
You get even more with Lainey.
Yeah.
Have you seen improvement in Lainey at this point?
Yes.
All right. And how about Tuff? What are your concerns with Tuff?
The schedule, the sleeping and the not eating, and then just when I am there, like he's super happy. He's a happy baby. And then the last 2 months, it's just kind of been decreased.
And since I said like we're doing quick, what are you asking the court to do today?
I would love them to be back in my home, obviously.
And if he doesn't send them back to your home, what are you asking for?
More visits. If it's supervised by my mom, I don't see why I couldn't go every day and visit my kids. especially when she comes out, because I know last time I wasn't allowed to go there. Her improvement decreased when she was way above, her age level at that time. And now I'm getting her back to, getting good at her drinking bottles. I'm the only one that can get her to drink a full bottle. The other ones are still tube feeding. And then, so if she doesn't come home, or if I don't get that visit with her, I think she'll decrease again.
I'd pass the witness.
Ms. Montes, why does your mother have your two older children? I heard there was a CPS case, but basically she said when it was over, y'all just left that same arrangement.
It was kind of helping me because I was pregnant and I was having a horrible pregnancy and then having tough and stuff. It just kind of helped. I like the Canyon ISD instead of Amarillo ISD, and she lives in Canyon School District. I live in Amarillo School District because I couldn't find a house in Canyon. So it just kind of helped. My daughter is on virtual, so it's kind of more quiet. It was more quiet over there, so she could do her work over there and not have the baby or me interrupting and stuff. So it just kind of helped out. Like I go over there every single day. Well, I did before. I went over there every single day. We had a schedule, that once Tough woke up, I would be over there and visiting the kids or taking them to football, or I take them to the doctor's appointments and everything still. They just stayed over there for school.
Okay. Do you work?
I actually am supposed to start tonight or
Okay.
tomorrow.
And what about your housing? The original intake I read, housing was an issue.
No, I have a house. I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in South Lawn.
Do you rent or own?
I rent.
Okay. Maybe I'm getting my cases confused. So, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Gutierrez, any questions?
Yes, I do have a question. At the time that Lainey and Tuff were removed, did you not enter into a safety plan or an agreement for your older two children to remain with the mother to avoid removal of them as well?
Yeah.
Okay, pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Nowak.
No questions, Judge.
Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right, then. Ms. Mullinax, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, but I did want to clarify for you. I think the removal affidavit said that maybe she was behind on her rent at some point, but but the new report says that she has stable housing.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Where did I get? Mr. Nowak, did you tell me you had no witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge, just for the court's information and counsel. My guy's got a speedy trial hearing on the 17th of this month, and he's represented by by Pam Sermon. That's all I've got.
Okay. And was that correct that his assault on a pregnant person is a motion to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Then, Mr. Ingram, any witnesses?
No, sir.
All right. Recommendations, Mr. Ingram?
Continue department as temporary managing conservator, continue placement as is.
Do you have any problem with letting Miss Matis go to her mother's house on a daily basis?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue the current placements. I'm going to order the services for both parents as contained in their service plans. I will, I don't know that I was asked to do this, but I will order that Miss Matis's visitation can be supervised by Miss Stagner at her residence. I don't know about time limits. I'm going to order that Miss Matis can go on a daily basis to Miss Stagner's house to help her with all these kiddos that are all Miss Matis's kiddos. I'm not going to necessarily put a limit on it. I'm sorry, Miss Stagner and Miss Matis. This isn't the get out of jail free where you can just go back and live with your mom. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. If it becomes an issue, somebody from St. Francis or the department will bring it up, and then I may be forced to put a limit on it. But it sounds like your mother could use the help, and it sounds like they're all your kids. You should be helping more, so I think that's appropriate. So just don't make me sorry I did it. Okay, One other thing, Ms. Matis, I have to admonish you that the services contained in your service plan become a court order today. At a final hearing, if you haven't completed those services, your parental rights could be altered or terminated. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have to tell you that. It sounds like you're off to a great start with your services, so I applaud you for that. All right, our next hearing will be an initial permanency hearing on April 7th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court online docket a day or two in advance of April 7th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Permanency hearing. Okay, we will stand in recess. Ms. Wellman's with us for the department. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother, Ms. Parrish, who is with us. Donald Madron, and I read in the report, is Donald Madron the same person as Donald Dobbs? In the report, it's called him Donald Dobbs.
Yes, Your Honor, we have an AKA in the report.
Okay, well, neither Mr. Dobbs or Mr. Madron's in the waiting room, so it's this case was set for 9:30. It's 9:39. We'll proceed in his absence. I've got several people in the waiting room. Miss Wildman, who do you need?
Haven, I think it's Duquette.
Duchette or Doucette? Okay, I got her. All right.
And Judge Alexis wanted to participate. I don't know.
Oh, no, she's here. I let her in. I thought, yeah,
Okay.
there she is. Yeah, she's in with us. Sorry.
Okay.
Glad. Thank you for pointing that out. For the record, Alexis, the child, is also with us. So, okay. Miss Wildman, you may proceed.
And I'm new to this job, Haven, so how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Doucette.
Doucette. All right, Miss Doucette, can you give us a little bit of an update on, I guess, how Alexis has been doing in her current placement?
She hasn't been sworn.
Oh, sorry.
All right, Miss Doucette, if you'd raise your right hand. Sorry, I was reading. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, now you can go ahead, Miss Wildman.
All right, and Miss Doucette, I guess let me take a step back. Where is Alexis currently placed?
She is placed in an RTC in Houston, Texas, called the One Discovery.
What was that?
The One Discovery.
Okay, and how long has she been in that placement?
I believe since July.
And how have things been since moving to that placement?
She's been doing very well. She's been attending school and going to tutoring and get her grades up, and she made an agreement with placement. If she would continue to do those things, she would get to go to the gala. However, over the weekend there was an incident where Alexis and other residents in the RTC did leave the home for the evening and then returned, and there's now been a discharge placed on Alexis.
And so what is, I guess, the plan moving forward as far as placement?
Alexis will submit her application, and they'll look to see if there's other RTCs in the regions that will accept her.
Okay, and so what you said we were having some progress on schooling. What grade is Alexis in currently?
She is in 9th.
Okay, and so far this school year, has there been improvement towards making up those the miscredits and things that she was behind on?
Yes.
Let's see. Now is based off of the needs, Alexis's needs, is the RTC she's currently in, is at the least restrictive placement right now?
Yes.
And will you be searching for a similar placement?
Yes.
Now is Alexis on any kind of medication?
She is.
And do you recall what sort of medication she's on and what the reasons are?
She's on several medications for her bipolar, a medication for depression. She's on birth control, and then she's on a medication for her pain and inflammation in her knee from an injury.
And are all of those medications being monitored?
Yes.
Has Alexis made any kind of having any issues or reported any kind of side effects or anything?
No.
She's been involved in the whole process of getting those prescribed and how those are working?
Yes.
Now, let's talk briefly. So who all is ordered to complete service plans in this case?
Miss Parrish, Miss Shella, Mr. Ricky Parrish, and then Mr. Donald Dodds.
And so Ricky Parrish, that is Alexis's stepfather, correct?
Yes.
And then Donald Dodds is her biological father.
Yes.
Now, what sort of services has Shella Parrish been ordered to complete?
Miss Parrish has been asked to complete to maintain stable housing and a drug-free lifestyle, to maintain stable employment, to complete individual counseling and parenting classes.
And so which of those, I guess, what of those services were ordered specifically to tailor to this case?
The parenting and individual counseling.
And what services has Miss Parrish completed at this point?
She's completed the stable housing, stable employment, the drug-free lifestyle, but she has not completed her parenting or individual counseling.
And what concerns do you have that those have not been completed yet?
Just concerns that would need to be completed for Alexis to be able to return home.
And I guess what sort of things were those services specifically meant to address in making it possible for Alexis to return home?
Just to how to help Alexis with her I would say emotions. She gets very emotional when told no, so helping her learn coping skills in that sense.
So it's essentially for the parents to help Alexis.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Parrish, was he required to complete similar programs?
Yes.
Which of those has which services has he completed and which has he not completed?
He's completed the stable housing, employment, and the drug-free lifestyle. He has not completed the individual counseling and parenting as well.
And does that give you kind of the same concerns about Alexis returning home because those haven't been completed by him?
Yes.
And are Mr. and Mrs. Parrish still married and living in the same household?
As far as to my knowledge, yes.
And how many other children are in that household?
To my knowledge, 3.
Okay. And so are there concerns about Alexis returning to that whole household with the other children there, with the parents not being prepared to manage those behaviors?
Yes.
Now, have you had any contact with Mr. Dodds?
I have not.
What sort of efforts has the department taken to try and contact him?
We've mailed a letter and got no response. And the phone number I called, and it was the wrong phone number.
Has anybody else been able to provide any good contact information for Mr. Dodds?
Not that I've received.
Do you have a service plan prepared for him if he does make contact or get in contact with St. Francis?
Yes.
And what sort of services are required in his service plan?
He will also be required to provide have stable employment, stable housing, complete a psychological evaluation, individual counseling, and parenting classes.
Now, at this point, what is the goal of this case? Is the goal to return her back home with Mr. and Mrs. Parrish?
Yes.
And do you believe the department's making reasonable efforts to do so?
Yes.
Now, have both Mr. and Mrs. Parrish agreed to work the service plan?
Yes.
And is Alexa showing progress in her placement?
Yes.
Her services?
Yes.
At this point, though, do you believe that there is a continuing danger to returning Alexis to the family home?
I do.
And just briefly, what is that continuing danger, continuing concerns that there are regarding Mr. and Mrs. Parrish?
That they have not completed their family plans of service of the parenting classes and individual counseling.
And have you talked to them about getting those completed?
Yes, I was to meet Miss Parrish, and then she ended up having work, so we haven't been able to meet face to face to discuss these things.
Okay. Are you still requesting that they complete those things
Yes.
to ensure that Alexis can return home safely?
Yes.
And what sort of concerns are there, obviously, with trying to reunify or place with Mr. Dodds?
That he has not maintained contact with us, and we have not been able to contact him, and he has not completed his family plan.
Are there any additional services that either Alexis or the parishes need to complete, or that in addition to the service plan that we've gone over, are there any additional services or anything that we think we would need to order at this time?
No.
And then is it your recommendation that the department continue on as temporary managing conservator?
Yes.
I will pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Ms. Doucette, the original report, original removal, both Ms. Parrish and Alexis both claimed that the other had assaulted them. Is that correct?
To my knowledge.
Okay, so you've answered questions about a continuing danger to return Alexis home today because the parents haven't, or the mother and stepfather haven't completed their services, but could it also be a danger to others in the family if Alexis was returned home today?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So would you say it's contrary to Alexis's welfare to be returned to mom and stepdad today?
I do.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Monax.
Ms. Doucette, would it be correct to say that Alexis was also removed due to a lot of her behaviors?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in the placement, I think you said that she had been in this placement in Houston since July of 2024, correct?
I was mistaken. She's actually been there since March.
Okay. And so you said she's been doing very well, but have you received reports either from my office or maybe the ad litem that she was skipping school and you weren't getting that information from that placement?
I received this case in September, so it might have been from the previous caseworker.
Okay, so in September of 2024, do you recall Kayla Martinez telling you that the placement had not shared that information with you to follow up with them in an email?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, and do you recall getting information from the ad litem's office about her engaging in risky behaviors? And I think we might be on YouTube, so I don't really want to talk about what she's doing that are adult activities, but do you remember receiving that report as well?
Yes.
Okay. And so did you get that from the placement or did you just get that from the ad litem?
I received that from the ad litem and reached out to the placement, and they said that they were addressing that with her in counseling.
And at some point she was, I think in September or October, she was suspended from school for skipping school. Is that right?
Yes.
And so would you agree with me that she's not really been doing that well in that placement for the last few months?
And I agree. In the last month, she's made significant improvement after making that deal to go to the gala.
And the gala is supposed to be when?
Next month, this month or next month.
All right. And so you said that she left the placement, and so they've done a 14-day notice. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so how many placements has she been in during this case, if you know?
She's 4.
And does her behavior, other than the last month up until this weekend, has her behavior continued to be that of needing to be in placement?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Doucette, when is the date that Alexis has to be moved?
They placed the discharge on, let me make sure so I tell you correctly. It would be the 21st, 12/21.
All right. And you said you haven't located another placement yet?
No.
If you can't find a placement by the 21st, where would she go? Would it be a step bed type thing or?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Mr. Ingram, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Briefly, Haven, has Alexis asked you about being able to come home for a visit at Christmas?
She has.
And did you talk to her mother about that?
I did.
And what was her response?
She had concerns with Alexis returning to the home with the other children in the home.
Okay, so mom want to allow Alexis to come home for a visit. Is that correct?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
All right. Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Doucette? All right, then, Ms. Wildman, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Mullinak's witnesses.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ingram, recommendations?
Continue the department as joint managing conservator with the mom. Continue placement as is until they find a new placement.
Okay. Alexis, this is Judge Graham. Is there anything you wanted to tell me today since you joined us?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You know, you're always welcome to attend these hearings. If you want to attend all the hearings, just let someone from wherever you're placed to know, and they'll get in touch with St. Francis. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What about your medications, Alexis? Do you think they're helping you?
Most of them, yes. Other than my sleep medicine just got upped, so I'm going to see how that one works.
Okay. And do you see a psychiatrist or a regular MD for those meds?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you able to communicate with that doctor? Will you let them know if you're getting old enough to have some say so in what you take? So
yes, sir.
Be sure and let them know if you don't think they're helping you, if you think the side effects outweigh the pros. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue Alexis's current placement, knowing that that's going to have to change here shortly. So I will set our next hearing would be a final hearing for March 3rd, 2025. That, as far as I know, will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before March 3rd to see exactly what time we will have that hearing. Okay, we'll stand in recess on this case. For those of you involved, I'll be back here in about 5 minutes to call another Randall County case for the department. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the child. Ms. McDaniel is with us representing the mother, Ms. Standley. She's not in my waiting room. Ms. McDaniels, were you expecting her?
No, Your Honor, I'm not.
All right. Mr. Hill, your client is not in the waiting room. Mr. Cervantes, were you expecting him?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then. This case was set for 10 o'clock. It's now about 10:02. With the announcements, we'll go ahead and proceed in the parent's absence. Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. My caseworker in this one is Yolanda Novak.
Okay, I'll get her in. She is in the waiting room. That only leaves Kim Riojas.
We have a Riojas adversary hearing later this afternoon. I don't know if that would be.
Yeah, let me look real quick. That's not set till 12:30. Let's see if that's who that is. There's no reason for them to sit around that long. Now I've got Desiree Riojas in the waiting room too.
Yes.
Ms. Riojas, are you going to testify at the Riojas hearing or?
Yes. Her attorney had got in contact with me yesterday. She's supposed to call me this morning.
All right. Well, let me tell you, that case is not set till 12:30. I didn't want you sitting around all morning long waiting for that hearing. So if you want to come back a little before 12:30, then we'll see whether you're going to be a witness or what. So I didn't want you to sit there until 12:30.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Because she told me at 9. So
yeah, it'd take too long to explain how that happens. But anyway, it's at 12:30.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, cool.
So how do I get out of here?
All right. Here, I'll remove you.
Yes, I am.
And who is her mother?
Rebecca Stanley.
And who is her father?
Miguel Cervantes.
Okay. And you filed a court report on November 21st of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we asked that the department, or rather, I apologize. Let me start that over. The department requests that the court take judicial notice of that court report.
All right. So noted, and I did read that report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yolanda, what are the updates on the child since the filing of that court report?
Echo is doing better. She was having some withdrawal symptoms. Her hands were shaking. She was crying out at night, rather loud. It just kind of screams during the night. And foster mom has said the hand shaking has stopped and the crying out has decreased. Echo is receiving early childhood intervention services for physical therapy every other week to help develop her motor skills. And she's also receiving ECI, early childhood intervention, every other week to help her with feeding. She's had trouble with the nipple on the bottle, and she does that every other week as well.
Okay. And what type of therapy is that where they're working on the feeding?
I haven't observed it personally, but the ECI specialist is working with her and foster mom about her latching on with the nipple on the bottle.
Okay. And what are the updates on Rebecca Stanley since the filing of the court report?
They haven't been very cooperative. I have had a hard time getting a hold of them. I've tried to make phone contact. They didn't respond to phone contact, so I made attempts to the house. The second attempt I made in November, they were there and they met with me briefly. I had developed their family plans because I could not get them to meet with me to develop it with them. So we developed the family plans off of the removal affidavit in the adversary hearing. I presented the family plans to her, or I presented her family plan to her and asked her if she wanted to go over it. She said no, but she did sign it. I did go over it briefly with her, and I did notify them that their visits were suspended until they had drug screened for us. I tried to send them the next day to drug screen, and I had no response from them, and they did not go. Or she did not go. Sorry, I forgot we were on Rebecca.
And was was the father a part of that entire conversation?
Yes, he was present for the whole thing as well.
Did you attempt to go over his service plan with him?
Yes, I did, and I went over it briefly, and I gave them a copy of it, and they both signed, and he signed his as well.
Okay, thank you. So has mom completed the conditions yet to have her visitation restarted?
No, they have not. She has not, and he has not.
And you prepared family plans of service, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And those are tailored to the case for each parent, is that correct?
Yes.
Do they aim to mitigate the reasons for removal?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they reasonably tailored to the issues of removal?
Yes, ma'am.
And very briefly, remind us what those main issues were.
For Mr. Cervantes, we were asking him to drug screen throughout the life of the case and complete battery intervention prevention program, the BIP program, individual counseling, and parenting.
And can you please identify 2 to 3 unique services for the mom?
For Rebecca, we're asking her to drug screen throughout the life of the case, individual therapy, and parenting.
And for the father, what are the unique services? If you could identify 2 to 3, please, for him.
Drug screening throughout the life of the case, the battery intervention prevention program, individual counseling, and parenting.
And you testified previously that you reviewed those service plans with the parent, is that correct?
Yes, I tried.
And as well that they both signed those service plans.
Yes, they did.
Are we asking the court to order any drug screens today?
Yes.
Are we asking for both a hair follicle and a urinalysis?
Yes, please.
And is that for both parents?
Yes.
Can you briefly describe the department's reasonable efforts to reunify the family?
As of today?
Yes, as of today.
Okay, sorry. Well, we've asked them, we've tried to meet with them to develop the family plans of service. We've asked them to drug screen for the reason of removal and for Miguel to complete the battery intervention program, which was also in the previous history of removal, and they have not responded.
Okay. And is developing the family plans of service, is that also a reasonable effort to reunify the family?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And with the drug screens you requested, could those have potentially helped them to meet the conditions to restart visitation?
Yes, it would.
And as well, your visit during the month to review those service plans, that would be a reasonable effort, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than the drug screens, do we have any other requests of the court today?
No, ma'am.
Would it be contrary to the welfare of the child to be returned to either parent today?
Yes, ma'am.
And would it also be a threat to his physical health and safety?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness.
Thank you. Ms. Novak, you didn't mention this, but both parents have admitted drug use, correct?
Yes, they did.
Or were both parents ordered to complete an OSAR assessment and follow all recommendations?
I have it listed on the family plan that if it's needed, then yes, they would.
Well, okay, I'll go ahead and order it because obviously if they both admit drug use, then it's needed. So,
yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. McDaniel, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Hill?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Ingram?
No questions.
All right. All right, then, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further?
Yes, Your Honor, if I could check in with my client. Yolanda, you look like you had something to add. What did you want to add?
I'm sorry. We are looking at placing Echo with her siblings in the Horsky home. We've reached out to their agency and we're working with our placement team to get approval and confirmation of moving her there so she would be with her siblings. I forgot to add that for Echo.
Are her siblings, are they in foster care also?
One has been adopted by the family and the other one is still in care, sir.
How are they related to Echo?
I don't know. It did say it was fictive kin from a previous case.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything else from anyone?
No, Your Honor, the department rests. We do ask that the court make findings that the department has made reasonable efforts to reunify as testified to by Ms. Novak.
All right, I will make those findings. I did have one question. Ms. Novak may not know this, or anybody might. I'm still showing that Mr. Cervantes is alleged, and I don't show that I've ever ordered paternity testing. Am I behind, or?
I think there was an AOP, Your Honor. I will double check my pleading to make sure everything is correct there. And if it's not, we'll get it fixed.
Okay. I'll make a note of that so I won't have to ask this again.
I show the pleadings have been amended to plead him as a presumed father now.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Ingham, recommendations?
Continue Department as temporary managing conservator, continue placement as is. Child's doing well in placement. And I don't have any objection to him moving with the siblings. I think that would be a good thing.
Okay. All right, then. Okay, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue the current placement. I'll order services for each parent as contained in their service plans. I'll order both parents to both hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today. I'll order the parents' visitation continue to be suspended until they drug test as previously ordered. And I will order that both parents complete an OSAR assessment and successfully complete all recommended services from that OSAR. Okay, I'll set the initial permanency, our next hearing on April 7th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance to see what time that will take place. Ms. McDaniel, Mr. Hill, if you visit with your clients, admonish them that the services that are in their service plan became a court order today, and admonish them that if they haven't completed those services by the final hearing, their parental rights could be altered or terminated.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, stand in recess on this case. I'll be back at 10:30. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the child. Ms. Archer's with us representing the mother, Ms. Carvey, who is with us. The father, Mr. Hester, is not with us, and he is not in the waiting room. And I note that he was not at the adversary hearing either. So I do have Shay Grant in the waiting room.
That's my caseworker on this one, Your Honor.
All right.
And Judge Phoenix wanted to participate. I don't know if she's able to get in or not.
No, I don't have anybody in the waiting room, but I'll watch it. If somebody comes in that I don't recognize them, we'll take a quick break. So, okay, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Shambriosha Grant as its witness. Your Honor. Shay, who do you work for?
St. Francis Ministries.
And what do you do for them?
I'm a permanency specialist.
Okay. And did you file a court report on November 20th of 2024?
Yes.
Your Honor, we asked for judicial notice of that court report.
All right, so noted, and I did read that report.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. And then what are the updates on Phoenix since the filing of that court report?
She is in a different placement. She's in an RTC. She was placed there on November 27th. So far, she's doing well there. We haven't had any behavioral issues. She's had her medical appointments. She's enrolled in school and she's doing well in school. We are getting her scheduled for CANS assessment and a dental appointment.
Okay. And as far as her being in a residential treatment center, is that the least restrictive environment considering the needs of the child?
Yes.
And what are the updates since the filing of the court report on Ms. Carvey?
She signed her service plan. We've gone over that. She's doing well. I've been able to visit her in person. But other than that, things are going good.
And what are the updates regarding Mr. Hester?
I still haven't been able to contact him. I've sent a letter to the address that we have on file. I continue to call the phone number that we have, but I've not received any response.
How is Ms. Carvey's visitation with the child going?
They haven't had any visitation so far. Phoenix hadn't wanted to talk to her mom. Ms. Carvey was in the area last week, I believe, and we had planned for them to do an in-person visit. Phoenix said that she would like to do that, but Ms. Carvey was there for work and then she wasn't able to make it. So as soon as they're ready, they'll have phone calls or virtual visits, whichever they would like to do. And then Ms. Carvey is going to be planning to visit in person soon.
So at this time, are they having any phone calls?
No, ma'am.
And is that due to the child's express wishes?
Yes, ma'am.
And they're not having any sort of virtual visitation either?
No, ma'am.
And that's because the child is refusing, is that correct? In regards to the father, has he had any visitation with the child?
No, he hasn't.
You mentioned service plans earlier. Have you prepared service plans for both parents in the case?
Yes, I have.
And do they aim to mitigate the reasons for removal?
Yes.
Can you briefly tell us again what the reasons for removal were?
Phoenix came into care due to her physical aggression, her behaviors, being physically aggressive towards family members, police officers. She was at the youth center of the High Plains, and she was also physically aggressive to some of the staff out there. And so at this time, neither parent is willing to have Phoenix back in the home. And so we're working on those behaviors and mending the parent-child relationship.
So in regards to the services, can you please identify 2 to 3 services unique to Ms. Carvey?
First, we have parenting classes. She will do parenting classes that are aimed towards teenage behavior issues. And then she'll also do individual counseling to just help her with the situation. And then we hope to have her and Phoenix do family therapy.
Is the family therapy already a part of her service plan?
Yes.
Thank you. In regards to Mr. Hester, can you please identify 2 to 3 services you need for Mr. Hester?
We will also have him do parenting classes geared toward teenage behavioral issues, individual counseling for him as well, and eventually family therapy.
And I believe you mentioned that Ms. Carvey had reviewed and signed the service plan. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I assume Mr. Carvey has not reviewed or signed the service plan. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Are we asking for any drug screens today?
No, ma'am.
And let's see here. Can you please identify the department's reasonable efforts to reunify the family?
We have created a service plan. We also created a visitation plan. So when Phoenix and Mom are ready, they will start having those visitations.
And as well, your ongoing efforts to communicate with Mr. Hester, would those be reasonable efforts as well?
Yes.
Would it be contrary to the child's welfare to be returned to the parents today?
Yes.
And due to the child's own personal struggles, would it be a threat to her physical health and safety?
Yes.
Pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Grant, where city or county, where's the RTC that Phoenix is placed at?
Oh, let me check and make sure. It's in Montgomery County in Conroe, Texas.
Conroe, okay, thank you. And does Phoenix still have the juvenile charges pending that were mentioned in the previous report?
Yes, sir.
Are they out of Randall County?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, all right. And you may or may not know the answer to this. Has Mr. Hester been a part of Phoenix's life, or since he's not, y'all can't find him? Do you know, has he had much of a relationship with Phoenix?
Other than when she was placed with him earlier this year in Florida, he hasn't.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Archer, questions?
Yes, Ms. Grant, will you be helping Mom set up the services in that plan, or does she need to initiate those herself?
Yes, I will help her. I'll give her all the contact information,
Okay,
and then
well,
she'll be able to call.
thank you for that. And then my second question is there a way, since Mom has been wanting to visit and the child hasn't, is there a way that Mom could at least get updates on how the child is doing before the next court hearing?
Yes, I'll give her updates, and she also has contact information of the case manager, Phoenix's case manager at the placement. So she's able to directly speak with them and get updates.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
So witness.
All right, Mr. Ingram?
No questions.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor. We do ask for the findings that the department is making reasonable efforts to reunify the family.
All right, I do find reasonable efforts have been made to reunify the family. All right, then, Mrs. Archer, did you have any witnesses?
No, Judge, I do not.
Okay, Mr. Ingram, anything else to add?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then. I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue Phoenix's current placement, and I will order the services for each parent as contained in their service plan. Ms. Grant, I did have one question. I may have overlooked it when I read the report. Is Phoenix on any type of psychotropic medications?
Yes, she is.
Are they being monitored at least every 30 days by a physician or psychiatrist?
Yes, sir.
Has she voiced to anybody concerns about how it makes her feel or anything to the contrary?
No, sir. She says they are helping her.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, then. Ms. Carvey, if you'd unmute briefly.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Carvey, I need to advise you that the services that are in your service plan become a court order today. At a final hearing, if you haven't worked those services, your parental rights could be altered or terminated. Do you understand that?
Yes.
That's just an admonishment I have to give to everybody. It doesn't really always apply in a case like this, but I have to say it anyway. So,
That's okay.
Our next hearing will be, hang on, our initial permanency hearing will be our next hearing. That will be on April 7th, 2025. It will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket or check with your lawyer or St. Francis a day or two before April 7th to find out exactly what time of day we'll have that hearing. We're here on an initial permanency hearing. Stand in recess. Ms. Wildman is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the child. Ms. Grant is with us representing the mother, Ms. Dominguez. I don't show her. Ms. Grant, were you expecting her?
No, Your Honor, she had a work conflict, but has been in touch with my office and I'm prepared to proceed.
Thank you. And then the father, Mr. Hathaway, is not in the waiting room. We have substituted Brooks Barfield for Mr. Adams as he's accepted another position, but Mr. Barfield's not with us yet, but neither is Mr. Hathaway. All right, I will also call related case, cause number 8, children. Again, Ms. Wildman for the department, Mr. Ingram is representing the children. Ms. Gomez represents an unknown father. Ms. Grant again represents Ms. Dominguez, who is not going to be with us. And then we have another presumed father for Koa and James Anthony Vallis. I show he's incarcerated. Is that still correct?
That is my understanding, Your Honor. The caseworker may have more information. That'd be Tim Koval. He should be in the waiting room.
Yes, he's my only one in the waiting room. Let me get him in.
Yeah, he's caught a chain. He's in TDCJ now on multiple sentences.
Okay.
Had a projected release date of like 2030 or something like that.
Okay. I'll go ahead. I missed that last time.
Well, he was in Randall County Jail at the last hearing, but he's caught a chain since then.
All right. I'll go ahead. I missed appointing him a lawyer before, but I'll go ahead and appoint him a lawyer. So we'll be ready for the next hearing.
Judge, I'll go check. I'm at Mr. Barfield's office. I'll go check with his staff to see kind of where they are.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't see them in the office here, Judge, but I'll call his assistant right now.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Judge, I'm texting Mr. Barfield the link to his phone. He just got out of court, so he'll be joining us very shortly.
Okay, thank you for doing that, Brianna. All right, Mr. Barfield's now joined us. Mr. Barfield, your client, James Hathaway, is not in the waiting room. Were you expecting him or have you had talked to him?
No, I'm not expecting him.
Okay, all right then. Okay, that accounts for everyone. This case was set for 11 o'clock. It's 11. Well, one case was set and one we moved, but they were set for 11 o'clock. It's 11:16. We'll proceed in the parents' absences. So, okay, Ms. Wildman, you may proceed.
We're going to call Mr. Koval or Tim Koval with St. Francis.
Wildman, okay.
All right, and Mr. Koval, just to kind of help everybody here, can you explain who the parents are in this case as it relates to the different children?
Yes, we have Jessica Dominguez, who is the mother of 4 children. Rayleigh is the oldest, and then Stephen, and then James and Koa. And then the fathers are Vic Hathaway. James Victor Hathaway is the father of Rayleigh. Steve's an unknown father. And then Anthony Vallis is the father of James and Koa.
And so is it my understanding that Stephen Carver, if I got that name correct, has been ruled out as the father of Stephen?
Correct. Through genetic testing.
All right. And so we're going to, and I don't know if you're here when the judge had said it, but we're going to do all the cases together in this one hearing. So we're going to go through everybody's stuff, even though we've got the 2 different court reports. So
okay.
Let's start with getting updates on the children. So how has Rayleigh been doing, or where is Rayleigh placed? Let's start there.
Rayleigh is placed in Amarillo with her great-grandmother.
And how has she been doing in that placement?
Rayleigh's doing well in the placement. Her great-grandmother is making sure that all of her basic needs are met. She's attending school in middle school and is doing very well, making very good grades.
Is she on any kind of psychotropic medications or anything like that?
She's not on any medications.
But otherwise, she seems to be doing well where she's at.
Yes.
All right, and Junior. So where is Steven placed?
Stephen is placed in a fictive kin placement in Gray County.
And how is he doing in that placement?
He's doing well. He is a first grader in Gray County, and he's doing well. He's had some behaviors as far as school goes, with not wanting to sit down and do his work that's assigned to him, but that has improved since October. So we haven't had any negative reports from the teachers since before Halloween.
Okay, good. And is that fictive kinship placement, are they addressing those issues appropriately? Are they prepared to get those addressed further if needed?
Yes, they're prepared if the teacher has any other concerns, but apparently the teacher hasn't had any concerns in a while.
Okay. Now, the youngest two children, that would be James and Koa, where are they currently placed?
They're placed in a foster home in Lubbock County.
And how have they been doing in that placement?
They've been doing well. They've both been healthy, with one concern regarding Koa. Koa has an interesting thing that happens sometimes when he gets upset and starts crying. He holds his breath, and this has led to a few pass out episodes where he loses consciousness momentarily. And so
has that been addressed by the foster home? Is he getting medical treatment for that?
Yes. Each time it has occurred, and it has happened twice in this foster home. It's also happened when he was with his mother before the removal. He sort of comes to on his own and with no ill effects, but he has been taken to an urgent care, and he's been taken to his primary care physician. They did an EEG in late November. He didn't have an episode while they were doing the testing, and they haven't gotten back to the foster parents with specific results, but that's kind of where that stands. He hasn't had any further incidents since back in November.
And do you believe that placement and that the medical attention that he's getting for that is appropriate to try to rule out or figure out what's going on?
Yes.
Do you have any other concerns about any of the children at their current placements?
No other concerns.
So let's kind of go and talk about the parents in the case. So, briefly, what was the reason that the department got involved with this family?
The reason that the department got involved was that in early July, Jessica Dominguez had been in a rehab that she checked herself out of with her two youngest children, the Vallis boys, and brought them to Amarillo and basically placed them in their car seats at the door of her grandmother, even though her grandmother had told her by phone that she was not able to take them. She already had Rayleigh, so that led to the removal.
Had there been substantial efforts prior to that to avoid removal?
Yes, there had been an FBSS case, and that's what led to her going to the rehab, but she checked herself out of the rehab prematurely.
So in addition to the drug use, were there other concerns?
Well, just the concern of the neglect of leaving the children there at the grandmother's house.
And so based on those concerns, sort of what kind of service plan was prepared for the mother in this case, Jessica?
We prepared a service plan that would require her to have steady employment and housing, do parenting classes, have an OSAR assessment, attend counseling, have a psychological evaluation, and based upon past history to attend a domestic violence support group.
And are those services tailored specifically to the needs Jessica has?
Yes.
And are those tailored to the need or tailored to help her reunify with her children?
Yes.
Now, as far as housing and employment, how has she done with those parts of the service plan?
Housing, she obtained a rental home in October that I've been able to view and found to be appropriate, and she's maintained that housing since mid-October. Employment, she obtained employment with a dental practice, working the front desk shortly after the removal, and she has maintained that employment.
So, as far as parenting classes, what sort of program have you discussed with Jessica as far as getting that service completed?
We had referred her to Family Support Services to their 10-week parenting class program. She did not enroll in that. I had sent an email out about another virtual parenting class that was offered, and sent that out to all my parents, and she responded and asked if she could do that. I told her that she could do that as long as she attended 10 of those to match up with what she would have done with Family Support Services. And at this time, I've not been provided with any certificates that she has attended those.
So, as far as you know, she hasn't completed either program.
That's right.
Now, as part of the sort of drug-free lifestyle and everything, has there been any requests for Jessica to drug screen in this case?
Yes, there have.
When was the last time there was a drug screen in this case?
The last time that she drug screened for us was September 14th.
And was that a UA or a hair follicle?
It was both.
And what were the results of that?
She tested positive for cocaine. And while she was still working with the department prior to the removal in July, she did test for them in May. And the results did go down somewhat between May and September as far as the hair follicle goes. But she did, test positive on both of those tests.
Now, has she drug screened? Has she been asked to drug screen since?
She has. I sent her to drug screen on October 31st, and she no-showed. And then I brought that to her attention on November 12th and asked her to test the next day on November 13th, and she no-showed that appointment as well, and she has not tested since.
And what was the reason that she gave for not being able to do that?
She often cites that her work schedule makes it difficult to test because of her working from 7:30 to past 5 most days during the week. I have advised her that the testing facility is open on Saturdays, and she could test on Saturday, even if she doesn't go on the day that I asked her to go. It'd be better to go at some point at all rather than to not go at all. But she hasn't gone on Saturdays either.
Now, in your court report, you mentioned an OSAR assessment had been scheduled for November 25th. Do you know if that was completed?
It was not completed. She no-showed 2 assessment appointments at TPC to do the OSAR. She informed me that she did complete the assessment late last week. I'm waiting to get confirmation on that and results from that.
Okay. Has she done anything as far as counseling?
She stated that she set a counseling appointment with Jennings for December 23rd.
But up to this point, she has not completed any counseling.
Correct.
And what about the psychological evaluation that was requested? Has that been completed?
It has not been completed. She has rescheduled that a few different times, and it still has not been completed.
So it's your understanding from your court report had mentioned there was supposed to be one on December 6th. Did that happen?
I don't know whether it did or not. That would have been Friday. I haven't received any confirmation as to whether it did. Yeah,
And has she completed any of the domestic violence support group?
she is not.
All right, so let's talk about what's been going on with visitation as far as Jessica is concerned. So what is her visitation schedule supposed to look like right now with the kids?
What the visitation schedule looks like is that there is individual individual visits with Stephen on Mondays in Pampa, an individual with Rayleigh on Wednesdays in Amarillo. And then twice a month on Fridays, she goes to Lubbock to visit with her two youngest children in Lubbock. And then once a month on the fourth Friday of the month, there's an all sibling visit with Jessica on the fourth Friday in Amarillo.
And so as far as Rayleigh goes, has she been attending Rayleigh's individual visitation?
Somewhat. She attended visitation once in November with Rayleigh.
And what about with Stephen?
This past Monday, she did attend that one on December 2nd, but she did not attend any of the visits in November.
And then what about with Koa and James?
She visited them at the visits that are set up for twice a month in Lubbock on November 1st and November 15th.
And how has she been with attending the visits with all the kids?
She's been pretty good with those. This past month, the transportation was canceled because sometimes that does happen when our transport team has an emergency, a placement of some sort, that sometimes the requests for transportation get canceled, and that's what happened in November. So that was not anything on Jessica. That was on us.
As far as her not attending some of these other visits, though, with the kids that she was responsible for, is she just no-showing, or is she calling and canceling? What's happening?
It's a combination. Sometimes she no-shows. Sometimes she cancels on the day of, stating that she doesn't think she's going to be able to get off work in time.
And in your report, it says that she's attended about less than half of the individual visits with Stephen specifically. Is that still correct?
Well, she attended the visit with him last Monday, so she's off to a good start as far as December goes.
Okay.
But she did miss the entire month of November of those individual visits with him. And when she calls and cancels, we try to set up a virtual visit to replace the in-person visit for that same time period. And there's been times that she's no-showed the virtual visit as well.
Now, specifically in regards to Jessica, are you asking for hair follicle and UA drug testing to be ordered today?
Yes.
And are you also asking that the judge consider suspending visitation until she drug screens?
I would leave that to the judge to decide.
What are your concerns about this lack of drug screening?
My concern is that she self-admitted to substance use, and she tested positive before for the department in May, and tested positive again in September. And since we haven't been able to test her since September, we're not able to determine whether she is living a sober life, and mitigating the risk that would enable us to put the children back with her. So we need to be able to confirm where she's at in her sobriety journey.
Now, let's talk about the fathers and their case plans in this case. So it's my understanding that James Hathaway, I think he goes by Vic, is the father of Rayleigh, correct?
That's correct.
And so what kind of contact has the department had with Mr. Hathaway?
Vic had been Early in the case, he had been maintaining contact, but then that sort of dropped off after late August, early September. His phone number was not working any longer. I tried to contact him via Facebook and did not receive any replies.
Now, what sort of services has he been ordered to complete?
He was ordered to complete a BIP course with Family Support Services, the Batterers Intervention program, which he has not enrolled in or participated in.
Now, are there concerns about Mr. Hathaway and past domestic violence?
Yes, there is. He's been a part of a previous case with us with a different mother, and that was a concern.
And so is there also concerns about drug abuse or substance abuse?
Yes, there has been.
And so is that why those requirements of the service plan are in there specifically for him?
Yes.
Now, how's he done on employment and housing?
At one point early in the case, he was living with a friend. My understanding is he moved out in October, and we have not been provided with a change of address, and I haven't been able to talk to him to find out where he's been living. Now, I will say, and I'm not sure who's aware and who isn't in court today, but he was arrested late last week. He was picked up on a blue warrant for a parole violation, and he is in the Gray County Jail. And it's my understanding for at least 91 days.
Okay. Now, has he made any progress on the BIP or the parenting classes?
Let me interrupt, Ms. Wellman. I've read the report.
Okay.
So let's just kind of cover what are the issues. I know what he was supposed to do and what he hasn't done. So.
Then, Judge, if you're all right taking judicial notice of that report, we can move on to Mr. Valles, or is it Valles? Mr. Koval, is that how it's pronounced?
I believe so.
And have you had any contact with him recently?
I have had contact with him. He was transferred from the Randall County Jail to he's currently at the Lindsay unit of TDCJ. So I spoke with him by phone, and I believe that the Lindsay unit is sort of a first stop before determining what his long-term incarcerated unit will be. But he's in sort of an assessment phase there at Lindsay at the moment.
Have you discussed his service plan with him and gone over what he's required to do?
I have, and he signed his family plan.
And is it your opinion that those services were narrowly tailored to what he needs to potentially reunify with his children?
Yes.
At this time, is he able to participate in services?
He's limited in what he can do in his current circumstance.
And at this point, has he completed any of the services in his service plan?
No, he is not.
Now, what efforts have the department made to reunify the children with the family, or reunify the family, I guess, in this case?
Well, we continue to work with Jessica on an ongoing basis to address the services, to make sure that we've authorized those services and that she knows who the providers are and how to make contact in order to complete those services.
At this point, do you believe there's still a continuing danger for the children being returned to the custody of any of their parents?
I do.
And why do you believe that?
We do not have the ability to confirm Jessica's sobriety at this point. And it's a journey that she's on, and the levels did go down the one time we were able to test her, but until we can see that there is long-term stability in that, and as long as we can confirm also that she is attending a domestic violence support program to address the domestic violence that has occurred in her past, then we will continue to have concerns about children being placed back in that environment.
So at this time, would it be contrary to their best interest to go back with Jessica
Yes.
and any of the fathers in this case?
Yes, both fathers are currently incarcerated.
Now, and I missed this part, Mr. Hathaway, what kind of visitation is he getting?
His visitation with Rayleigh has been.
Let me interrupt. Mr. Coble said he's incarcerated for at least the next 90 days, so that's really not a big issue right now.
Correct, Judge. So at this time, other than the mother having to do the hair follicle UA, are there any other services that you're requesting that the court order today?
We would ask for a suspension of Vic Hathaway's phone contact with Rayleigh until he's able to drug test.
And would you ask that he, I guess, drug test upon his release?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. Tim, what about mom? I mean, is it going to be... My problem with suspending visitation a lot of times because the parents won't drug test is it really punishes the kids. Mr. Hathaway, his child's a little older. I don't have as much of a problem with that. How do you feel you think it warrants suspending Miss Dominguez's visitation because she tests when she wants to, or do you think that would it be worse for the kids than what we'd gain from doing that to her?
I believe that it is important to maintain that bond between mom and kids. And the nature of her substance use is not something like methamphetamine where we'd be concerned about skin-to-skin contact and things like that. So she has been appropriate in the visits that she has made. There's never been any concerns about that.
Okay. We've done this in the past. We have a lot of parents say they can't drug test because they can't get off work and they'll lose their jobs. Some at the times, I think that's probably a valid concern sometimes. But what we've done in the past, if she says she can't get off work and she missed a test, could someone go give her a swab test? She couldn't argue with that if you just met her at her work and she asked for a 5-minute break and took a swab test. Is that something we could consider doing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that might be a way around it. I don't want her to lose her job, but as you said, we've got to know where she is on her sobriety path before we can go much further. So, okay, thank you. Ms. Grant, questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Barfield.
I have no questions today, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Gomez.
Nothing for me, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right, then. Anything else from the department?
We just ask that there be the finding that the department's made reasonable efforts to reunify.
Okay, yeah, I will find the department's made multiple reasonable efforts to reunify. All right, then, Ms. Grant, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor. I'll ensure that my client understands the importance of complying with the drug screen and mouth swab as an alternative only if absolutely necessary.
All right, thank you. Mr. Barfield, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge. Again, we'll contact the client in jail and kind of see what that situation is as well.
Okay, all right, thank you. Ms. Gomez, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ingram, recommendations?
Continue department's temporary managing conservator, continue placements as is.
Okay. All right, then, I'll start with Rayleigh's case. I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue the current placements. I'll order Ms. Dominguez to hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today. And when I say that, I'm going to order a blanket order that she also comply with any swab drug screens that are requested of her. I'll order that Mr. Hathaway drug screen within 24 hours of his release from incarceration and that his visitation be suspended until he does so. Okay, in the Vallis and Carver kiddos cases, I'll continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue the current placement. Same with mother to hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today and to submit to any swab drug tests requested by the Department of St. Francis. All right, in both cases, we'll have the next hearing, the permanency hearing, on March 31st, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearings, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. All right, we'll stand in recess on this. I'll be back here in just a second to call another Randall County case after final order. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the child. The guardians, Gregory Needham and Neetha Needham, are not with us, and they are not in the waiting room. I have Alicia Bird and Alicia Walker in the waiting room.
I think Miss Bird is my caseworker on this one.
Okay.
And did you file a court report on 11/26 of 2024?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, we ask that the court take judicial notice of that court report.
All right, so noted, and I did read the report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jalissa, can we get an update on where the child is placed?
Brianna is currently at a temporary step bed placement until we seek placement for her.
And what county or city is that in?
In Houston, Texas.
Okay, thank you.
Harris County.
And do we have a potential placement that's already lined up, or are we still looking for one?
We did find an out-of-state placement that accepted her in Alabama. Brianna did refuse that placement, so we are currently continuing to look for a placement for Brianna.
Thank you. And is she on psychotropic medication?
Yes, she is.
And are those being reviewed at least every 30 days?
Yes, they are.
And is she also in therapy?
Yes, she is.
As in regards to her medication, has she expressed any opinion on them?
No, other than she said she felt okay on her medications and didn't have any concerns the last we spoke.
And in regards to her therapy, is she just an individual therapy, or are there any other therapies for her?
At this time, since she's in a temporary placement, she is just an individual at this time.
Can you give us some details on how she's doing in that placement?
Yes, Brianna's been in this placement for almost 2 weeks. She's been doing well. We had an issue getting her enrolled in school, but we're able to get her enrolled. She's been pretty stable the last couple of months. Her relationship with her aunt and uncle has improved drastically. They talk daily and seem to be doing really well.
Have there been any conversations about whether or not Brianna is ready to go home?
Yes, over the Thanksgiving break, her aunt and uncle were able to come see her when she was in our office watch. So they were able to have in-person visits, which went well. They talked about her coming home around a little bit before she turns 18. Recently, I talked to Brianna last week, and she and her aunt and uncle feel it's best if she goes into extended care and they continue their relationship. Brianna feels she does better when she's not with her aunt and uncle, that their relationship is better.
Is there anything we need to ask the court to consider being ordered for the child?
No, not at this time.
Are there any services for Mr. or Mrs. Needham that we need to ask the court to order?
No, not at this time.
And how old is Brianna right now?
She's 17.
Okay. And it looks like her birthday is in September of later next year, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bird, I just got a couple of questions. One of them, it happened in July, but I'm curious about it. I read in the report that she was admitted to the pavilion in July after speaking with a family member. She was admitted for suicidal ideations. Do you know anything about that? Who the family member was and
Yes, it was her sister. We have asked that they don't have contact just because we've noticed that's a trigger for Brianna when she talks to, she has two sisters. So when she talks to either one, it seems like she has a emotional trigger. And so that's what happened in July.
Okay, all right. And then I also read that she'd been to a 90-day intensive program, but it said removed on October 16th due to safety concerns. Were the safety concerns for Brianna?
Yes, the placement had an incident that St. Francis was not comfortable with, and we did decide to emergency remove her.
Okay, so it had nothing to do with her, how she was acting in this intensive program, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Ingram, any questions?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
I do. I have a couple of issues I forgot to cover.
Okay.
Ms. Bird, what is the primary goal for the child?
Our primary goal has been a reunification.
Okay. And is the department exercising reasonable efforts to complete that by offering the child services?
Yes, we are.
As well as facilitating visitation with aunt and uncle?
Yes.
And what is her secondary goal?
I believe it's a relative adoption.
And what are the department's reasonable efforts towards that goal?
We have continued to look for any family members or friends that would be appropriate for Brianna. At this time, we have not had any family or friends that are either appropriate or willing to be placement or for Brianna. So at this time, we'll just continue a search.
Right. I pass the witness again, Your Honor.
All right, anything else from the department?
No, Your Honor, we rest. We do ask for findings of reasonable efforts for the child to reach those goals.
All right, I will make the reasonable findings requested. Mr. Ingram, any recommendations?
Continue department as permanent managing conservator. Continue. I know she's done a temporary placement, but continue to look for placement.
Okay. All right, then. I will continue the department as permanent managing conservator, continue her current placement, knowing that we're looking for a more permanent type placement. So, all right, I'll set the next review hearing for May 19th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before May 19th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. All right, we'll stand in recess on this case. I'll be back here very shortly to call another Randall County case. That is a permanency hearing.
Hey, Destiny, it's Brianna. They should all be back pretty shortly. Like I told you, they're all kind of running a little bit behind because of some of the earlier hearings, but yeah, just wait patiently for a little bit, okay?
Okay.
And if you have a little option to turn your video off, then you can do all of that, okay? And then we'll turn it back on for the hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm back. We can go ahead and get started. Ms. Gomez, are you covering for Mr. Jackson?
Yes, Judge, I am.
Okay, thank you. We're here on a permanency hearing. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram's with us representing the child. Ms. Gomez is covering for Mr. Jackson, representing the mother, Ms. Hargesheimer, who is with us. And we have Tracy Riley was supposed to be covering for Mr. Hurdle, or actually I think maybe substituted in. She's not with us, but she represents an unknown father, so we can proceed if I'll watch the waiting room for her. Mr. Michelson is with us representing the alleged, I think he was alleged, we'll get to that in a minute. The father, Mr. Clarity, Claridty. Mr. Michelson, he's not in the waiting room. Were you expecting him?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then. That's everyone except for the Mr. Clarity, obviously the unknown father, and Miss Riley. So we'll go ahead and get started. Ms. Gutierrez, who's your witness?
It is Alicia Walker, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Walker?
And who is her mother?
Destiny Hargesheimer.
And her alleged father is Derek Clarity. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. You prepared a court report in this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, just a second. Let me get that date of the court report. Apologies, Your Honor. We've switched from hearing to hearing so fast.
That's an understatement there.
Here we go. And was that court report filed on November 18th of 2024?
Yes.
Your Honor, we ask for judicial notice of that court report.
All right, so noted, and I did read the report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, are there any updates regarding the child's serenity?
There's no updates other than she's doing really well in her placement. She's healthy, happy, she's doing great.
Okay. And is her visitation with her mother currently suspended?
Yes.
Can you explain the events that led to those visits being suspended?
Yes. Destiny admitted to using drugs, so we had to suspend her visits.
And that was per a court order, is that correct? That set out conditions that would suspend mom's visitation, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what drug did Ms. Hargesheimer admit to using?
Hydrocodone.
And since that event, have there been other struggles with substance abuse for Ms. Hargesheimer?
Yes, she tested positive on a UA in November.
Okay. And what was that positive UA for?
Morphine.
Okay. And has the department continued to attempt to search for Derek Clarity?
Yes, I've talked to Destiny, talked to Destiny's mother, Kathy, talked to Crystal. I don't have any information on him other than his name.
And have there been any developments or statements by Ms. Hargesheimer regarding wanting to relinquish her rights to the child?
Yes, she told me on November 20th that she wants to relinquish because she said that being an addict is very hard and she doesn't think that she's going to be able to stay clean the remainder of the case. So she feels like the best thing that she needs to do for herself is to relinquish.
And to your knowledge, we've forwarded that possible relinquishment to her attorney. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, because mom is interested in relinquishing, are we asking the court to set the final sooner rather than later?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Would it be contrary to the child's welfare to be returned to her mother today?
Yes.
And would it also pose a risk, a danger to her physical health and safety?
Yes.
And with Derek being alleged father and unfound, would that be true for him as well?
Yes.
Are we asking the court to order any drug screens today?
No.
Are there any services for Ms. Hargesheimer that we need to ask the court to order?
No.
Ask the witness.
All right. Ms. Gomez, any questions?
For curiosity's sake, a little bit informal on my part, in order to reinstill, official visits, we would need another drug test. That's correct.
Yes.
Is that kind of where we? Okay. All right. No further questions from me, Your Honor. Pass.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Michelson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Walker, you answered most of the questions regarding the identity of Jason Clarity. Have you used finders or any other search engines to attempt to find him?
No, I'm not able to do that because I don't have a birthday for him.
Okay. And there's no next of kin in the area, is that correct?
Right.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Riley again is not with us for the unknown father. So Mr. Jackson, I'm sorry, Mr. Ingram, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
Nothing further from the department. We rest. We do ask for findings of reasonable efforts to reunify the family.
Okay. I will make the findings that the department's made reasonable efforts to reunify. All right then. I will continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue Serenity's current placement. Is the aunt a potential adoptive home?
Yes, she should be licensed to adopt this month, hopefully.
And that's what Ms. Hargesheimer wants?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Then, Ms. Gutierrez, you mentioned moving up to the final. You want it just as soon as we can find something after 45 days, or?
Yes, Your Honor, that would be great.
Okay. And Brittany, remind me, is Tracy Riley being substituted for Mr. Pirtle or just covering for him today?
She was put in the case. I was going to put Cody in there, and then when I called him to see if he would approve the appointment, he asked if I couldn't because he said he's pretty overwhelmed coming back.
Okay.
But I can call and find out where Tracy was this morning. She did get that order back in November. I just hadn't updated it in CPCMS.
Okay. I just wanted to know whether that was just a one-time thing or what. So.
Oh yeah, she'll be on it moving forward.
Okay. So we're looking for something at least 45 days out from today. And I take it since Mr. Michelson, have you had any contact at all with Mr. Clarity?
No, Your Honor, I've attempted to look for him on Facebook and do a general Google search and any other possible searches I can do, and I haven't found his name or his identity.
Okay, so Brittany, we can kind of assume he probably won't be there for the final hearing too, and if Ms. Hargesheimer relinquishes, it won't be an exceptionally long hearing, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm looking 45 days out right now to see what we have. How about January 13th?
Does that work for everybody? I assume that's the day we have Randall County cases anyway.
Yes, it looks like it's not too bad right now.
Okay. All right, let's just do that then. I will set a final hearing in this case for January 13th, 2025. All parties can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance to see exactly what time that hearing would take place. Ms. Gutierrez, one thing, I think I know the answer to this since we're talking about a relinquishment. The report that I read said that the department was requesting mediation. Do we still need that?
Alicia, are we still wanting mediation?
No, I don't think that will be necessary if she's relinquishing.
Are we
Okay.
still asking for a CASA to be appointed in this case, Alicia?
Yes, please.
Your Honor,
Okay.
we are asking for a CASA, but additionally, a date in January wouldn't give us the 45 days. Well, it would have to be at the end of January to give us the 45 days notice.
Here, I've got my handy dandy little wheel here.
Also, a small hiccup for me, just all day. I'm sure it'll be fine, but also I'm not Mr. Jackson and he will be returning on this case. So I don't know if he has things set, what have you, and his assistant is not in the building right now, so I can't ask her.
Are you saying he won't be here for this final whenever we have it?
I think he's going to return. I just don't know what his calendar looks like, and his assistant just walked out for lunch.
Yeah, we'll get with him. We'll
Yes, sir.
set it. We could always move it. Let me just look again real quick here.
I can push it too. I didn't think about that either with the 45 days. I can go past that.
It looks to me like it's kind of hard for me to read this wheel even with glasses. It looks to me sometime around January 24th is the 45 days. So I'd say nothing before January 25th.
So we have a docket on the 27th. It looks like it's kind of busy though. We can do it in the afternoon, and then we have another docket on February 3rd.
I think February 3rd would work better, Your Honor. If I recall, I think the McClendon and the Graciana Campbell cases are both on the 27th now, and I think those will both be lengthy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would prefer not put anything else on the 27th.
Okay, all right, then I will set the final hearing for February 3rd, 2025. Again, you can go on the docket a day or two in advance of February 3rd to see exactly what time we'll hold that hearing. So, all right, we will stand in recess on this case. I'll be back at
You're good.
12:30 to call
have
a Randall County
females.
adversary involving the.
Yeah, okay. Oh, what's the sound?
They're all up right now. Ours is on. It's got all of us on there.
Huh?
It's got all of us on there.
Stacy, is there any way I could talk to you in a breakout room?
Sure. Judge, could Natalie and I have our client in the breakout room with us?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I
Let
think
me
I
see.
can go back in.
Yeah, let me figure out how I'm going to do this.
I'll just get out of.
Ms. Gutierrez, on behalf of Desiree, we have an agreement.
Okay, thank you, Stacy. We're also asking the court to order a home study on her mother as well.
That's her request today, and they already have custody of another grandchild, so we're hopeful it will be very quick.
All right. My understanding is we have an agreement from the mother.
Your Honor, I'd like to know, I had emailed Stacy Grant before today's hearing. I'd like to kind of know what the agreement is so I could take it to my client to see if he's in agreement. So, because I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. If the mother's got an agreement, somebody announce it, and then I'll let Miss Lucero talk to her client.
Okay. Your Honor, we
haven't called the case.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me call Randall County case. We're here on an adversary hearing. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram is with us. Representing the child. Miss Lucero is with us representing the alleged father, Mr. Caesar, who is with us. Miss Grant is with us as the attorney ad litem for the mother, Miss Riojas. And Miss Archer is with us as the guardian ad litem for the mother, Miss Riojas. So if there's an agreement on behalf of the mothers, let's announce it, and then we'll talk to Mr. Ingram and Miss Lucero and Mr. Caesar about whether they're in agreement.
Your Honor, the mother is in agreement to temporary managing conservatorship to the department. She's in agreement for an expedited home study on her mom and dad's home. Kim, can you give me the first name of
David?
Kim and David, and the last name?
Riojas.
Riojas. And the mother is willing to work services. And Judge, we would just ask that she has some services that she's already gone and completed on her own that we will submit to the department for consideration.
Okay.
She's agreeable to drug testing as required by the court and the department. And she and Mr. Caesar, I believe, intend to move forward together in a relationship potentially, and so they will participate in all counseling, therapy, or any services that require performing those together to be successful.
All right. So, Miss Lucero, now you want to break out room with Mr. Caesar?
Please.
And I don't know, Miss Lucero, I don't know if you have. He was pled as an alleged father. He signed on his application for a court-appointed attorney where he acknowledged he's the biological father. So I don't know if y'all discussed that. You can talk to him about that too to see whether you want to adjudicate him today. So,
Your Honor, I'll talk to him about that. Thank you.
okay, Mr. Caesar, I'm going to open a breakout room for you and your lawyer. You may be asked to join the breakout room, or it may just put you in there automatically. So.
Your Honor, Ms. Lucero may also need one piece of information that I did check into what we were discussing by email, and the department was opposed to that suggestion.
I appreciate it, Stacy. Thanks.
Okay, I'll open that breakout room. We'll see y'all when you come back. I had to take that call, so. All right, Ms. Lucero, where are we as far as Mr. Caesar's concerned?
Your Honor, Mr. Caesar does agree to the TMC to the department and the expedited home study on maternal grandparents. He'll agree to work services. I would just ask, Your Honor, that when the department puts together his service plan, if they could send it to me so I can review it with him. I just want to make sure it's tailored to what he needs because he was the non-offending parent in this case.
Okay.
And then as far as and he does say he has no doubts that the child is his, so he would like to be adjudicated as Kingston's dad today.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Ingram, you've heard what the parents have agreed to. Are you in agreement?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. And Miss Archer, I didn't ask you because Miss Grant announced it, but as guardian ad litem for mother, are you in agreement?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, give me just a minute here.
And Judge, a child is currently placed in a foster home in Amarillo.
Okay, thank you. Just about that. Is anybody asking for any drug tests today?
Your Honor, let me see. Kathy and Amy, are we asking for drug screens to be ordered today? Amy Bailey, Kathy Jones.
They both submitted to UAs, and Mr. Caesar did a hair follicle after the last hearing, and they were all negative.
Are we asking for a hair follicle from the mother?
She completed one about 30 days ago.
Okay, so no drug screens today, Your Honor. We are asking for the court to take judicial notice of the affidavit in support of removal and the investigative report.
Okay.
And we next ask for findings of reasonable efforts to prevent removal and also to reunify the family since removal.
All right, I'll give you the findings that you've requested.
Your Honor, we would like to request grandparent visitation while we wait for the home study under the code.
Or what code?
I'm sorry, the one under the policy. I said code. I'm sorry, Judge. The 1 hour per month for Kim and David Rojas while we're waiting to possibly move the child to their care.
Riojas.
Anybody
object to that?
Kathy, that's something we can facilitate. Is that correct? She's nodding yes, Your Honor. We can do that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Uh-huh. Well, I never heard of this policy. Is it 1 hour monthly?
Kathy, can you respond?
Well, what'd you request, Ms. Grant? Monthly? 1 hour monthly?
Yes, they standard give grandparents 1 hour monthly, Judge.
Okay, all right. Yes.
I have a question.
Everybody's talking at once. I can't keep up with everybody. Who has a question now?
Yeah, Desiree Riojas. If my kid is gonna go to the grandparents, wouldn't it be right for them to get a little bit more than an hour so they can get to know him first?
Well, we don't know. Their home study hasn't come back, so that's an if that I can't answer today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. Then, first of all, based on what Mr. Caesar's attorney has told me today, I do find that Darian Caesar is in fact the biological father of Kingston, and I will establish that parent-child relationship today. I will approve the agreement of the parties. I will continue the department's temporary manager and conservator, continue Kingston's current placement today. I will order the expedited home study on Kim and David Riojas. And I will order that Mr. and Mrs. Kim and David Riojas have 1 hour monthly visitation supervised with Kingston. All right. Our next hearing will be the status hearing. That will be on January 6th, 2025. That will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing. So parties can contact their attorneys, or everyone can go on the court's online docket to see exactly what time on January 6th that hearing will take place. You can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance, and it'll give you the exact time we're going to have that hearing. Okay. I appreciate y'all working that out. We will stand in recess on this case. For those of you involved, I'll be back.